Coach, Jackson State, from what I've seen, has some pretty big receivers. Can you talk about kind of challenges that might put on the DBs?
Everybody in this league has good receivers and good players, good quarterbacks that throw the ball well. They're no different. 81 Williams is a really good player. They had 80 who's done a good job. Fosselman has transferred in there, and he's done a good job for them. They throw the ball around all over the place whenever they feel like they need to, and so they've done a good job of throwing it and catching it. And so every week is going to be a challenge, and it's just the reality of what we're going to face in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. So.
Coach Fobbs talked about the number of snaps and, of course, what that did for your defense. I guess depth plays a big part in terms of getting more numbers in there?
It does. And right now our depth is not exactly what we want it to be. We got some young players that we're trying to bring along and get them ready to play. We just, we have to make some decisions about whether we put them in the game or not. And we really don't want to put them out there if we think they're totally ready to be able to give us what, they've got to give us. And so we ultimately end up playing quite a few guys, not a few guys, we play a few guys a bunch of plays. And it gets to the point in the game where it kind of gets critical. And then you never know, and you never go into a game expecting that you're going to play that many plays and it's going to go the way it goes. And when it does, you have to transition your mindset kind of in the middle of the game. And so that's what you try to do. Obviously we want to be a man team, but we may have to do something different. Try to slow down the pace of the game and then, try to give our guys a chance to be able, because those same guys that are playing defense, that are chasing those receivers on those long routes, same guys covering kickoffs, same guys covering punts, same guys on kickoff return, same guys on, on all those other special teams. So they play a lot of plays. And so for us, we got to make sure that we continue to develop our depth and get our depth to the point where we want it, to where we'll feel comfortable running a bunch of guys in and on and off the field.
Coach, when you get stuck in one of those video football games like you do, and you just making the point of trying to make an adjustment during the game, that's even more difficult because they're not on the bench long enough to sit them down and ask what's going on out there. So where's the learning curve change to where you can make those adjustments? So you have to wait till Sunday night.
You try your best to make whatever minimal ones you can during the course of the game, and then you spend a bunch of time on Sunday night and Monday and Tuesday, try to make sure that you clean all that stuff up, and so that the kids go back out on the next weekend and you play a little better. And, and for us, I think too, part of the deal was I thought we played. There were times in other games where we maybe weren't in position. I thought in this game we were in position to make some plays. And it's hard to tell a young man that he's got a chance to make an interception, hey, I'd rather you knock the ball down. For me, I'd rather him knock the ball down. And they took some chances and went out to some balls, and that's what they're going to do. And their receiver came up and made some great plays, which kind of helped them score a bunch of points at the end of the second quarter, which made it look a little bit different, I think, than the way that the flow of the game was actually going. And so, but that's just a reality of what you deal with.
It's probably not doing much for your blood pressure, is it?
No, it's not. It's pretty high.
You wake up Sunday morning for the second time, and I guess 3 weeks having given up 50 points and over 500 yards. What comes to mind after a game like that?
We won. Seriously. Behind the offense that we play that's explosive, you never know what it's going to be like and what you're going to get. And so the ultimate reality is I want to hold them to one less point than we score. And then if I can get that done with the ebb and flow of the game, with all the other things that we're dealing with, and we have an opportunity to win the game, that's the thing that's the most important to me. I love the fact that I'd like to be number one in the conference in this and that or whatever else. But if that's not exactly what the situation deals to me, then the ultimate reality to us is win. And if we get a W and it puts us in a position to be able to go into the next game and getting those W's, then that's what I'm after. I celebrate Coach Dooley and them scoring 70 points. Man, it's tough for us playing behind it, but I've been with places where we haven't scored 70 points or 45 or 35. And so being behind an offense that scores a bunch of points, it issues some challenges for us defensively. But I like the fact that we can score a bunch of points because that gives us greater opportunities to win. And so I celebrate the fact that those guys do that. We accept the challenges, and we'll go back to the drawing board, try to clean up all the things that we can, make the corrections that we need to make, and play better each week.
So you're not really concerned at all that?
Oh, I'm concerned. And we will go back to the drawing board, and we will try to clean up the things and the mistakes that we made. Like I said, again, I don't think it was a deal where our kids weren't in position. I think it was some opportunities that we tried to make some plays, and we didn't make them, and they did. And that's going to happen sometimes in some games. I can't tell those kids, I want those kids to try to knock that ball down and separate that guy from it, but they got an opportunity to make a pick. Those kids are going to try to make a pick. They're players just like their guy players. And it's a challenging game, and they got good players. When they're good players, are going to make a play sometimes, and sometimes ours are going to make a play. Just like Arquez Cooper strips the quarterback of the ball, it's in the air, guy, stalwart, intercepts it. So we had the opportunity to make those plays, and we made them. I'd like for us to make more of them, because the more of them we make, then it gives us greater opportunity to limit their amount of success. But, sometimes you win some of those, and sometimes you don't. And they had some of those on Saturday, but we got enough. We got more than they did, and we had enough to win the ball game. That's ultimately what's important to me in the final analysis.